We've all been there. You're exploring a haunted house with your friends when you notice each one of them slowly going missing, one by one, never to be seen again, only to then be attacked by a vengeful spirit from beyond the grave. Happens to the best of us. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be the ghost? That's the idea behind my newest game project, a stealth game where you play as a ghost. Originally, I was inspired by the Metal Gear games where you have to stealth around enemies and complete objectives. I really liked the idea of making a stealth-based game, but I didn't want being caught to be such a nuisance, as I always found it to be a little annoying. So I thought that maybe getting caught could signal some sort of shift in the gameplay. After thinking on this, I settled on the theme of ghosts and haunted houses. I think it fits the gameplay, but I also really enjoy the aesthetics of things like Scooby-Doo and Luigi's Mansion. So, here's what I came up with. You play as a ghost in a haunted house with people investigating the area. The main goal is to capture all the people and avoid being seen by them. This can be accomplished by being stealthy, cunning ability usage, and interactions with the environment. But, if the player does get caught, instead of losing the level or dying, they enter some different part of the gameplay loop. I still don't really know what I want to happen yet, but there is a lot of potential here with the ghost theme. First things first, I got started on a very basic prototype. One of the most important things in a game like this is the enemies, so I began to build the enemy AI. Starting with the pathfinding, I'm using the A-star pathfinding system in Unity here. It took a bit of learning to understand it, and a lot of little circles running into walls, but I ended up figuring it out after a while. The A-star pathfinding system is quite adaptable too, so I can come back and change things up later if I need to. I also made the enemies rotate a bit so that they sort of look like they're looking around. In this build, it's completely random, but that's fine for a super basic prototype. I played around with them for a bit, and it was pretty entertaining just messing with these enemies, trying to avoid and capture them. So I decided to keep working. Next, I implemented a fear system for the enemies. The idea is that you need to scare them enough in order to capture them. Right now, they just change colors to show how scared they are, but I want to change this to some better visuals in the future. Additionally, I wanted to add player abilities into the game. The only way right now to scare the enemies is to click on them. So to add more options, I implemented an Area of Effect ability that increases the person's fear over time. I was sort of inspired by how ghosts are always depicted as having a cold, chilling presence about them, like in Phasmophobia, where you have to locate the ghost room by checking the temperatures around the house. I also added an interactive hiding place, where you can phase inside of an object like a suit of armor or something to hide from enemies and their vision. This will make it easier to stealth around, as being stuck in a room with a person does not necessarily mean that you'll get caught. And lastly, for this devlog, I made a quick mock-up visual prototype of what I envisioned the game will look like. I wanted to go with a spooky color palette, and I thought this one fit the theme pretty well. Of course, the art and colors are not final, and will probably change a lot as I keep developing, but it's a good start. I'm still hard at work on this prototype, and I have some really cool ideas for what to make next, so expect more updates like this in the future. I don't do outros,